Great afternoon, everybody. What's going on? It's your boy, Mr. Body, coming to you live. Conversation with Mr. Body here on this Wednesday afternoon, right? So what is today? Today is Wellness Wednesday, Workout Wednesday, Warrior Wednesday, Hump Day, whatever you want your Wednesday to be, that's what today is, right? And so listen, today's conversation is going to be short and sweet, but we're going to be talking about like carbs, right? The truth about carbs and weight loss, right? Like, should you have carbs when you're trying to lose weight? Or is carbs having an effect on your weight loss? Or is no carb the way to go when it comes to you creating your weight loss, right? And so that's what we're going to be talking about. I just want to give you some tips and some do's and some don'ts and some things to just kind of understand surrounding carbs, because there's so much information out there. There's so much conflicting information out there that I want to be able to give you some real facts and some real things to start to think about when it comes to the creation of your weight loss, dropping body fat, getting ripped, whatever it is that you're looking to do, losing the stomach and gaining some abs. I want to be able to give you some facts and some things that is surrounding carbs, right? And so look, the truth of the matter is that carbs are not bad for you, right? Like, as a whole, when you look at it, carbohydrates are not bad for you. Now, are there bad types of carbohydrates? Absolutely. There's a difference when it comes to carbs, right? You have simple carbs and you have complex carbs. I'm not going to go into the details of the difference, but go Google it and understand the difference, because then you might understand, okay, well, wow, I've been having a bunch of simple carbs and not enough complex carbohydrates, and that's maybe what's affecting you, right? Because listen, if you have an excess of simple carbohydrates, yes, it will make it more challenging for you to drop the weight. However, complex carbohydrates are a bonus. Complex carbohydrates are a plus, and it aids in you dropping weight. It aids in you dropping body fat. You got to understand that. Listen, do not avoid carbs when you're trying to drop weight. I'm just trying to tell you, it's going to be more beneficial in you creating your results if you have carbohydrates. Now, there is a time that you want to have carbohydrates, right? See, listen, you can have complex carbohydrates, which are good, at the wrong time, which will have a negative effect on your body, and it's not going to help you in the process of creating your goals. So I want you to think about something right now. Listen, carbs help with energy, right? Listen, if you Google, right, no carb meme, you'll see the gremlins. If you don't know what the gremlins are, I'm sorry about your childhood. That's unfortunate, right? But if you ever saw the movie The Gremlins, right? Listen, when you see it, right? Carb day is Gizmo. Gizmo was the loving one. Gizmo was the happy one. Gizmo was the excited one, right? And then when it goes to the no carb day, it's the most evil ringleader, right? But that's how most people feel when they don't have carbs, because guess what? Carbs help with your energy. And so if you cut carbs, right, or actually think you're cutting carbs, you're actually reducing your energy source. And so that's one of the reasons why you become more irritable. That's one of the reasons why you have no energy. That's one of the reasons why you get really tired all day long, is because you've cut out one of your main sources of energy, right? And so the best time to have carbs is first thing in the morning or the beginning of your day. Whenever you're starting your day, if you work third shift, it's right before you go to work. If you work in the morning, listen, it's right before you go to work. Whenever you start your day, that's one of the best times to have carbohydrates. And then in the middle of your day. Why? Because it's going to help to power you through your day. It's going to help to give you sustained energy throughout the entire day, so you can avoid that midday crash, so you can keep your metabolism going, right? And so that's what you got to understand. Now, listen, the bad time to have carbohydrates, which is what a lot of us do, is have it at night or right before you go to sleep, right? So most people, your dinner is comprised of, listen, a carbohydrate. Usually it's rice or pasta or potatoes, some type of protein, and maybe a vegetable. That is like the average dinner for most people, right? And so what you got to understand is that when you're having carbs before you go to sleep, your body doesn't have enough time to utilize and break down those carbohydrates for energy, right? Because you're not doing anything anymore. And so what happens is that when you have these carbs right before you're going to sleep, because your body's not utilizing it for energy, what happens to unused carbs? They turn into sugar. What happens to unused sugar? It turns into fat. And so if you're like, man, listen, I don't understand. I've been doing this. I've been changing my eating habits and all this other stuff, but it's not seeming to help me. And you're having carbohydrates before you go to sleep. Ding, ding, ding. That's one of the reasons you might be struggling, because your body doesn't have enough time to process those carbohydrates for energy, and it's turning into sugar, which is then turning into fat because it doesn't have time to process it, right? And so if one of the tips that I can give you is just avoid having carbohydrates before you go to sleep. When you do that, I'm telling you, you're going to start to see new results happening for you. But don't cut carbohydrates altogether, because you're cutting your energy source. Listen, complex carbohydrates also helps in your energy, your metabolism, and dropping body fat, right? So why would you want to cut a source that has so many benefits for you if it does all those things for you? Now, here's the other thing that a lot of people don't know, right? Listen, carbs are in almost everything that we're having. Notice I said almost, right? But there are so many other sources. So when you think you're cutting carbs, or I'm going to go 30 days, no carbs, first of all, you're lying to yourself, right? Because it's almost impossible to go 30 days without having carbs. I'm going to say it again. It's almost impossible to go 30 days without having carbs, right? So I'm gonna give you some things, right? Because a lot of people's like, what do you mean? Like, if I just cut out the rice, the pasta, the da-da-da-da-da. Okay, guess what? If you're still having vegetables, guess what? Vegetables is a source of carbohydrates. So you're gonna cut vegetables too? Probably not. So you think you're cutting carbs, but if you're eating vegetables, guess what? You're still having carbohydrates. Okay, I'll give you another one. Are you eating peanut butter? Did you know that carbohydrates are in peanut butter? Wow. Oh, I'm gonna give you another one, right? I even looked up black beans. Guess what? Black beans have carbohydrates in it too. Like, if you really look at the nutritional labels on most of the things that you're having, guess what? It has some percentage of carbohydrates in it. So you're never really going on a no carb diet, right? And again, that's not good for you. It's not beneficial. Listen, if you look at people who are athletes, if you look at people who are fitness competitors, right? Especially fitness competitors, people who are being judged on the way that their body looks. Do you think that they go their entire prep time without having carbs? Absolutely not. Carbohydrates are essential in them creating the results that they're looking for. So if we're talking about people who are fitness competitors, like bodybuilders and men's physiques, women's physique, bikini, they're eating carbs when they're creating their results. Why do you think that you should cut carbs when it comes to you creating your results? And you're not even being judged on the way your body looks. Now, do fitness competitors have no carb days? Yes, they have no carb days, but they don't have no carb weeks, plural, right? What they do is something called carb cycling. And listen, it's complex. If you don't understand it, if you don't really have help with it, don't even try it. Like, you don't have to carb cycle, but that is typically what they do, right? It's called carb cycling. It's something, again, it's not for beginners, but it's just to point out that these fitness competitors who are being judged on the way their body looks eat carbohydrates. When they're dropping weight, when they're dropping fat, when they're building muscle, they are eating carbohydrates. So I'm telling you right now, if you are looking to lose weight, if you are looking to drop some body fat, if you're looking to create a new result, do not avoid having carbs. Avoid simple carbs, yes. Avoid having carbs before you go to sleep, yes. But carbohydrates are going to give you a lot of benefits when you have them. Again, it's having the right type of carbohydrates at the right time of day, and it's going to drastically improve your process of getting new results. You got to understand that, listen, yes, nutrition habits, right? Because I don't like to talk about diets. Listen, diet is just what you're eating. It's not about cutting this and cutting that and doing all these extra. Listen, it's a lifestyle. You got to create the lifestyle that's beneficial for you, right? What works with your life? What works with your habits? What works with your day, right? You got to find what works best for you. Stop trying to put these fad diets into your life. It doesn't always connect like this, right? As a matter of fact, I'm going to give you this last analogy to think of, right? Sometimes why you struggle with these diet plans that are out there, right, is because, listen, you remember those like It's like a 3-shape thing, right? And they give it to kids. And it's like a circle, a square, and maybe a rectangle or a triangle or something, right? And the kids are supposed to put the blocks inside of it, right? So just imagine these are your diet options, right? And your lifestyle is a circle, right? But you're trying to put this circle into the triangle or the box. It doesn't fit. And that's why you're struggling, is because you're trying to force something into your daily routine that doesn't fit. And that's why you're struggling to lose your weight. That's why you're struggling to create your body fat loss. That's why you're struggling to build your muscle, not because it's not possible for you, because you're trying to force something because it's supposed to work wonders. You've seen it work for other people and you automatically think that it's supposed to work for your lifestyle, and that's not how it works. I'm sorry. It's not how it works. And so what you got to understand is you got to find the circle to your circle. And it takes some time, and it takes some work, and it takes some trial and error. But there is a circle to your life which is going to be the best way for you to create your result. And if you don't know how to do it, holler at me. I got you. Listen, that's what I do. I create result plans for a living. Been a certified personal trainer for 18 years. And so we can create your results plan. You just got to be willing to do it. You got to be willing to follow the plan. You got to be willing to be consistent, committed, and dedicated to what's going to work for you. But guess what? Don't nothing work but work. And so you can have the right plan. You can have the results plan. But if you don't work it, it's not going to work. So ultimately, listen, stop trying to think that cutting carbs is the way in creating your next result, especially when it comes to weight loss and fat loss. It's not. You just got to do it right. All right, it's your boy, Mr. Body. Look, if you got some value from this video, feel free to hit the share button, tag somebody that needs to hear this message, invite somebody to come and watch this video so that they can get the same value that you got. And listen, if you need some help, I got you. Hit me up, type a message down here, send me an inbox. Let's talk. Let's get you some new results. Make 2020 your year of domination. Make 2020 your year of results crushing, right? Why? Because it's possible for you, because guess what? It's possible for others. And what's possible for all is definitely possible for you. All right? Deuces. Have an awesome and powerful day, y'all. Peace.